from the depths of my heart, I ask you to forgive me.
Pull the rug from under her. And you gotta own it.
I do.
You don't.
I always tell you I'm sorry for doing it. I tell you I'm sorry for all the stuff.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Blair Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about the apology that you must sit in. Okay, the apology you must sit in. This has been inspired by Put a Ring on It, and also as well Iyanla, Fix My Life. I hope I said her name right. If I didn't, you're gonna have to correct me once more again. You get me?
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it.
If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, make sure you like, you share, subscribe, click on the bell button for a notification of the what? Of the uploads, baby. Alright, let's get into the video. Let's not waste too much time. The apology you must sit in. I want you to understand something. In relationships, sometimes we do stuff to people that when you apologize, it is not finished. What does that mean? It means that sometimes when you apologize, it's not enough. Okay? The immediate residue of what you've done doesn't just disappear. There is an apology that you must sit in. And when I say that, it means when you apologize, there is a process of time of waiting, okay, where you're open to discussion and conversation about what you have done. You cannot sweep it underneath the rug. You cannot sweep it underneath the carpet. You cannot throw it away. You cannot have your feelings trump what's going on right now. You must sit in it, okay? So I want to just show you something to kind of give you an understanding here. In the Iyanla video here, you're going to see the mother speaking to the children saying, I give you permission and I'm listening. You see, oftentimes what happens is sometimes someone can do something very drastic. Okay, let's give an example. You cheat on me. Okay,
You know me?
Huh?
You know me?
now when you cheat on me, betray me, you're sorry, forgive me, it's not going to be enough. Okay, but it's a starting block. So when that happens, there's a series of conversations that need to happen, and the person who's the offendee must give permission to the person who's been wronged to have this discussion. And it may not just be one, it may be several discussions over a course of time in order to bring healing, because the forgiveness journey isn't one day, it's a journey, continuous. Okay, I can't put a timestamp on it, but most experts say that, you know, something like cheating is 6 to 24 months. Okay, so just have that in your brain. You understand? That when you do something that is drastic and very painful, it could take a very long time for that person to heal, or at least even get to a point of trusting you again fully. You understand? Just like an injury. Okay, so the person who's the offendee must give permission to the person who's been offended and also say, I am listening to you. I am ready to hear what you're saying without judgment, critique, and trying to defend myself. I want you to understand that. Without judgment, without critique, without defending myself. Because what will happen is in this conversation is that when you get into the place of listening to that person, okay, and listen to that person, if you try to defend yourself, what you've done is deflect from the responsibility of accountability. You're no longer accountable for your actions.
Protect my family. And that's the only way I knew how. I thought I was doing the best that I could and that I knew.
You're excusing. You're excusing.
You're trying to deflect it by saying there was a reason. Keep quiet. Zippy. You understand? Just give the permission and say, I'm ready to listen. Okay? Now, in the process of this apology, and when I say apology, what I mean by that is a conversation that you're having, because the apology can be an immediate apology, I'm sorry, forgive me, but the apology can also be a journey of an apology, which is you're trying to get an understanding of where this person has done this wrong. That's why I use the information of cheating. Now, I hope you're paying attention. And in the process of doing that, what you need to be doing in this conversation or conversations is to be able to say this. When you watch Iyanla, watch it now.
Joey, Marcus, I'm giving you permission and I'm listening.
And what you need to say is, repeat what I've said. Not necessarily regurgitate. I want you to understand what I'm saying. You should be able to hear me, decipher what I've said, and then represent it back to me. If you cannot represent it back to me, you haven't heard me. If I've said it to you, and you'll see it in an example here with the mum didn't understand what the son had actually said. What she heard was that she was being critiqued, okay? And then when she was critiqued, she wanted to defend herself. But again, like I said, the trouble with that is when you begin to defend yourself, you are now taking the responsibility away from yourself and placing it on somewhere else. You're deflecting. Do you get it? Right? Okay.
From the depths of my heart, I ask you to forgive me.
You have to be able to acknowledge, okay? Acknowledge the pain that you have caused. Now, this is the sitting part. The acknowledgement of what you have caused may not be done after one day. So what I mean by that is that you may admit today, I acknowledge that what I've done today has hurt you drastically, and this and this and this is what hurt you. And this is what I'm saying to you. It may be a series of conversations over a course of time, but let's just take it as one. I acknowledge that, hey, I am so sorry. I acknowledge that my actions of cheating and betrayal have hurt you. I acknowledge that when I stepped out on you, it was selfish. It was selfish. It was self-preserving. I focused on what I could get out of it, and therefore I'm sorry because I know that I've hurt you deeply. Okay? And I take the responsibility, and I know that my actions have caused you pain that I cannot take back. You understand? And so you acknowledge that, and then you can drop, please, from the bottom of my heart, forgive me. And so you hear the mum admit and say, listen, forgive me. Forgive me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the person is looking for the genuine repentance and acknowledgement and of what your actions are. And this conversation is called the sit-in, because once you give that person permission to talk and you to listen, you are saying, I'm not trying to dictate or how you should feel. I'm not telling you to get over it in 2 months. I'm not telling you that, listen, I'm over it, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. What you're saying is, I'm ready and open to a process of hearing you out. Do you get it? Yeah. And so this is what we call accepting responsibility apology. Okay. I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. I know I can't make up for it, but I'm sorry for that. Then there's also requesting forgiveness. You see, sometimes you have to mix the apology languages. Okay. Asking to be forgiven and asking the wronged party to forgive you is also a shift in power. It is a surrendering of your sovereignty in this instance, or your pride in this instance, an ego, and saying, hey, I've done wrong, please forgive me. Yeah, it's a surrendering. This is why when Christ says, forgive them for they know not what they do. Yeah, the wronged party then can say, forgive them for they know not. Christ was saying that to God the Father on our behalf, because we couldn't say it. Do you understand? He was our apology letter for us, because we couldn't say it. And so, the same way the offendee party, the person that's offended, okay, then has the choice to say, I forgive you, but it doesn't mean it's over. This is what I'm saying. It is a sit-in apology, because what will happen from this process is that a person may need time, they may need your effort, they may need your understanding before they can reach a place of resolution and reach a place where they're comfortable again with you. And I want to make this very clear. An apology does not mean that there are no consequences. An apology does not mean you ain't going to jail. An apology does not mean we are getting back together again. I want you to understand this. See, so if you're only going to apologize to me because you think we're getting back together again, then it's not an apology. You're just doing it because you want to get back with us. No, your apology must be did it without there being the ulterior motive of, I hope we get back together again, or I hope that we are best buddies again. Listen, you can make that apology, but you're making it because you know you've done wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's simply it. The apology does not mean that we are rekindling back to where we were before. Just want to make that very clear. So if you watch Ashley and Hollywood from Put a Ring on It, I want to say to Ashley especially, listen, Hollywood, this is the type of apology we need. A sit in the apology, meaning that you're going to have to hear some stuff and you are not going to say a peep. You're just going to listen and then you're going to ask for forgiveness. Guys, that's all I've got to say. I hope you liked what we did there. You know, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe as well. And we appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. Most you trap in, you get me. Tap in, you get me.